You know what sound that means, folks? You betcha that's another noon whistle. This is our Halloween edition and another celebration of manufacturing myth with a local manufacturer, David Gigante from Wisconsin Oven. He's a production manager up at East Troy's Wisconsin Oven plant. David, thanks for being here.
How are we doing today, Chris?
Good. Listen, I am loving the Scooby Doo costume.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me get up full quick here.
Woo, man. There you go. You know, you got some Halloween spirit.
I do, I do. Go to trick or treating. We'll be going on, Tuesday in Elkhorn.
Yeah, perfect. So, I have to, for those of you who local viewers, we're missing my partner in crime, John Anzalone, who's on assignment right now. And since this is Tuesday and Halloween, he's handing out candy as we speak. But hopefully we'll be able to catch up with him later on. But let's get back to David here and talk a little Wisconsin Oven and manufacturing. So, David, tell me, I've had the opportunity to tour Wisconsin Oven with some students. It was a great tour, super informative. I don't think everybody knows what's going on at Wisconsin Oven, but let's talk a little bit about your journey, because I think with the Noon Whistle, we really want to talk about why kids should consider manufacturing as a career. So tell us your story and how you got involved in manufacturing.
Well, I went to college in Madison. I was actually going to go to law school, but I didn't. I was working part-time construction for an outfit in Elkhorn, and then I worked there for 10 years, and then decided I was going to check a different career path. And then, lo and behold, in my own backyard here in East Troy was Wisconsin Oven. And we don't make industrial or kitchen ovens. We make big industrial ovens the size of homes and whatnot. So I got started here. I've been here for 23 years.
So in your title's production manager. Now tell me a little bit about what that means and kind of the sequence and how you went about getting into that leadership position.
When I came here, I didn't know how to weld or, didn't use a bandsaw. I grew up on a farm. But slowly, I started to learn some things. I went to Gateway for a class for welding, back then, and kind of just worked my way up. Started building the ovens, and they gave me some opportunities to do some other things here, work in some other departments, travel, do some wiring on the ovens, do some troubleshooting, and slowly but surely, I ended up in this position as a production manager. So.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit in your previous answer to the first question about like what Wisconsin Oven manufactures, and everyone thinks oven, you're thinking what you put your frozen pizza in. We're not talking about those.
No.
We're talking large ovens that range from, give us some dimensions, and what's the largest from, what are some of your common builds to all the way up to one of the more unique ones you guys have welded manufactured.
Again, it's a box, with a heat source and a a blower to push the heat around. But some boxes are 8 foot by 8 foot by 10 foot tall. We've built ovens 100 foot long. We've got some in the works possibly for a 250 foot oven, 4 of them, for like 8 cartons. So we build them in all different sizes and shapes. Probably the largest and biggest oven I think we've done, and it might be the biggest oven in the world, is we built one for Blue Origin down in Florida.
Okay.
That you can put a rocket inside of it. We built it here in sections, and then we hauled all the components down to Florida. It was, I think, like 45 semi-trucks of parts down for it. But you can actually YouTube Blue Origin Wisconsin Oven, and you can see this large, the man in front of the door is about this big, like a little ant on the size of it. So, we've all sorts of different size ovens we make and manufacture. So.
And you guys manufacture them from beginning to end. So like you talk about, it's a box, a metal box. But then what's the process of manufacturing an oven? Kind of just walk through a step by step.
We have a awesome sales department. We have a lot of good departments, awesome departments here. We got a sales department, accounting department, mechanical, electrical, engineer departments, assembly department who builds, sheet metal department who fabricates the stuff, the materials for the assembly department. We have an on-oven department, a QA department, shipping department. Got to give some credit to those guys as well. But basically someone calls up and says, hey, we got these parts, and we're looking to have an oven that, corresponds to their processes and whatnot. And we'll design an oven, and, we'll get a set of prints from engineering, and, it goes down the pike.
So yeah, and having been up there, obviously you manufacture the oven. There's the electrical side of it, the components. Does that all happen at Wisconsin Oven?
Yeah, those types of components we don't actually manufacture ourselves. We have
Okay.
vendors where we purchase the electrical components and stuff, but we buy, a lot of structural steel, a lot of plate steel and sheet steel, so we do a lot of the metal side of it. We can, build here ourselves. The electrical components are components that we purchase from other vendors to put on our ovens to make it function.
Got it. So tell us a little bit about like what does Wisconsin Oven, or primarily you, if you're the hiring manager, what do you look for in potential employees to be a part of the Wisconsin Oven family? Talk a little bit about the skills, dispositions, attitudes.
Okay. First off, I think you have to have a good personality, a willingness to work, some people skills, but obviously to show up for work, that's nowadays it seems to be one of those issues of, people not showing up for work, but, showing up for work with a good attitude. You don't necessarily have to have a ton of experience. We can train a lot of things here at our company, as far as like welding and whatnot. We also have the ability we've sent people to, Gateway to take courses. But just, a little bit of mechanical aptitude, especially if you're going out for an assembly position. You have to be good with your hands and a tape measure. You have to know how to read a tape measure. But we always, over the course of time since I've been here, we positions have always been available, maybe for an engineering, mechanical or electrical. We have a service team that goes and travels and puts our ovens together out in the field. So there's many different opportunities here at Wisconsin Oven. And as far as manufacturing, no robots are going to build ovens. So, I mean, we've been in business for 50 years.
Got it. Yeah. So, and I'm assuming you have, I think I'm trying to recall from the last time I was up there, you don't have a lot of turnover, do you?
Yes and no. I mean, again, being here, I guess as long as I have, you've gone through 9/11. You've, production's, up and down.
Okay. Yeah.
Some people leave for different opportunities. Some people come back. We've had people that leave for maybe thinking the grass is greener on the other side, and then have come back and realized that, it hasn't. But some people just don't cut it, I guess. You know what I mean?
So I do remember when we did the tour, you had a T-shirt on of your kids' school. Where do your kids go to school?
Oh, I think I wore it today.
Come on. Boom.
Well, Canada's
There you
always.
go. Yeah.
My kids go to Tibbetts Elementary. My daughter Bella's in 4th grade, and my son Leo is in kindergarten.
And you love the Elkhorn schools. I heard you talk about your kids' experience. So let's talk about kids for a second. What advice would you give kids as they're going through high school and maybe want to consider a career in manufacturing? Maybe it's, they like to work with their hands. They like to build stuff. There's a lot of kids who, like to just do that, but are unsure what career path. What recommendation would you have for any student considering a career in manufacturing?
I don't, I've been out of school for a long time, so I'm not
Yep.
quite sure what kind of classes, they offer in high school or even middle school to get the kids prep for, graduating school. Maybe there's welding classes in school, or, shop classes, things that get you involved with, building and looking at prints, or, running a welder, using a tape measure, things like that get people thinking, and take those kind of classes, and reach out to, like you and I are talking right now, and
Yeah.
bringing kids to Wisconsin Oven, or having us come to Elkhorn and speak and stuff. That's another way to kind of promote manufacturing and some of the businesses that are in your own backyard that you don't know about.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. And we try and get our kids out through job shadows and work-based learning experiences and through youth apprentices. And I know that Wisconsin Oven has been super receptive to all of those opportunities, continue to be a great voice on behalf of manufacturing. And like you said, a local company that's been here for 50 years. So, all right. So tell me now, we know this is Tuesday, Halloween, the 31st, because there's no way we would ever record the noon whistle. We do it live every time. So what are you most excited about for Halloween? Are you going to wear the Scooby-Doo outfit when you go trick-or-treating? Tell me a little bit about it. And then I got one follow-up question.
Yeah, I'm always like you can take the the man out of the boy, but not the boy out of the man kind of thing. So
We couldn't tell.
I'm definitely wearing the Scooby suit. Whether I go up and get some candy as well, maybe I'll kind of hide that I'm a little bit older. But yeah, I mean, I love it. My kids love it. Just love doing stuff with my kids, so they get a big kick out of it.
Is the house decorated? You got do you spend some time on that, or you just enjoy the today as for Halloween?
The house is not decorated this year. I'm just gonna enjoy the day and the ability to go out and get some candy tonight.
All right, last question here. This is a big one.
All right.
What is your favorite? Like your kids come home. Like I got 3 kids, right? Your kids come home, they open the bag, and you're keeping your eye on for that 1 or 2 pieces of candy. What's your favorite piece? What's your kind of go-to?
Ooh, I'm a big chocolate guy. Obviously, Twix is probably a specialty of mine. I ain't gonna lie. I always kind of be like, hey, they'll count the candy. My kids are very competitive, so they'll be like, I got this amount and this amount, and I'll be like, well, you got one less because I got your Twix.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm the same way. Give me chocolate, Snicker, Twix, Reese's peanut butter cup. I did see on social media a really funny post, and it was about candy corn. And it said, here's the best way to eat candy corn. You ready?
Yeah.
Open the bag, pour it in the garbage, and eat a Reese's.
I believe that. I wasn't a big fan of that when I was a kid. It's almost like when someone gives you an apple in the bag. It's like you got to be appreciative. But man, that's the candy corn and the apple were pushed off to the side. I was always hoping my mom or dad, my dad would eat anything. So he always got the candy corn.
So before we head to our shout outs and thank yous and close another successful noon whistle, what's the future? What's on the horizon at Wisconsin Out of It? Anything new you want to talk about? Anything exciting? Any upcoming projects you got going that you want to share that kind of would intrigue and pique the listeners' interest?
Oh, we're always we're dabbling into getting better here. We got R&D, we got a robot, we got a laser here. So we're always looking to, advance our technology here. Like I say, we do a lot of stuff for the airline industry, the car industry, the oil industry. We got big, industries that we touch base a lot with. So, there's always something new and exciting coming. Yeah. Like I said, we got that big 250-foot oven. There's 4 of them possibly for egg cartons. So, things are always on the rise. And I always don't know from my end, from the production, what's going on in sales and who they've been talking to and whatnot. So
that's great. Well, we appreciate you coming on, and for everybody who's listening, great local company. I want to thank Wisconsin Oven for everything they've done for the Elk Area School District, being great partners. Love the fact that you choose the Elk Area School District for your kids. Tibbetts is a great blue ribbon school. Shout out to Brian Frost for all he does. And we always close, David, with shout outs and thank yous. So the floor is yours. This is your platform, the hottest podcast in Waller County. Who do you want to thank?
Well, first and foremost, like I said, I got to thank my kids. I love my kids to death, Bella and Leo. Tibbetts, Elkhorn School System, Mr. Frost. Thanks, Chris, for having me on. Shout out to my coworkers in case they watch this. They know, they're already, all over me about my Scoob suit. So, and a shout out to my mom who's in New Mexico. Love her to death. But
nice. That's great. Awesome. And I'm going to thank Mr. Jason Cleveland at Elk Area High School and the Student Council, who every year puts on an amazing local trick-or-treat and Halloween experience at the high school. And, all these things that we do, it's, the Elk Area School District realizes, we're a community first. So I want to give a shout out to Mr. Cleveland. David, thanks for being on the Noon Whistle. We love it. We'll have you back again. Love the Scooby suit and enjoy some Twix. And on that note, folks, you got to go back to work. So there's the sound. Have a great one. Take care, everybody.